Hello everybody, my name is Citrus, and today we are talking about Splatoon Raiders, because after what felt like an eternity of no news on this game, basically radio silence, Nintendo dropped a big fat trailer with a ton of gameplay and the release date for this game. And I kind of wanted to talk about it, not only this trailer, but also Splatoon Raiders in general, how I'm feeling on this game, if it's looking quality or not, and just kind of compiling my thoughts, because I think this game has a lot of potential to do some really big things for the series, with it being the very first Splatoon spin-off, but also some of my concerns with how the game is looking. I did just want to look at the gameplay here in the trailer for a second, and some of the things that I think are pretty cool. The animations and the character models, I don't know how much they've improved from Splatoon 3, but they do look really, really nice, and the character customization here looks really, really fun. They got a bunch of unique hairstyles going on here with different objects that you can put in your hair, which I think is a really fun spin on the whole, like, pollution aspect, which this game seems to be going into, like how the waters have been polluted, and now you're finding all these materials and these hidden treasures, and sort of being a playful commentary on environmentalism. Here we see some stuff that looks pretty familiar to when the game was debuted. We see Deep Cut right there. We also see this mech tank thing, and Big Man is piloting it. And that was one of the big reveals with this trailer, is that the members of Deep Cut are piloting these tanks. We also get the reveal of the Salmonids being the primary enemies in this game. And I have some thoughts on that. I've seen some people saying that this is basically just Salmon Run turned into its own big game, which some people are excited about and some people are like, that's kind of lazy. I wouldn't go as far to say that it's just Salmon Run, but now it's like its own game, because clearly things are a bit different. This is more level-based, seemingly, from the map that they're showing on screen. And the environments are obviously a lot different. They're a lot bigger, and it seems, like more like a linear kind of game rather than like Salmon Run, which is just like wave after wave after wave on the same island. That doesn't mean that I'm in love with this idea, though. Honestly, well, this is kind of a repeated theme with this game and the vibe that I'm getting from this game. It's a bit derivative. I feel like with a Splatoon spin-off, first Splatoon spin-off in the whole series, doing things that are a bit out there, a bit weirder, things that couldn't fit in a mainline entry. You're opening those doors, but here they're kind of sticking with the tried and true method, you know? You have Salmonids, you have the third-person shooter gameplay. It's a Splatoon game, and it is a Splatoon game through and through without necessarily deviating too much. Anyways, we'll get more into that in a bit. But yeah, the main thing of the game is trying to find treasure throughout the game, like this treasure chest with this two-fisted salmonid, whatever that is, as well as making new weapons, it seems. You go to the ship and you can, make these gadgets, which allow you to do different things, like this really cool little dashy slash move with the axe. It reminds me a bit of like Wolf's side B in Smash Bros. And there's also this one, which has this kind of circle of, I don't even know what you'd call them, they look like little clams that attack the enemy. You have a turret that you can make. It's very interesting. It reminds me a lot of like roguelikes, almost Hades-ish in my mind. Where you can level up your weapons and kind of build your kit while you go through waves of enemies. In fact, it also reminds me of the Splatoon 3 DLC, the Side Order, which I still haven't actually played through. I know, fake fan. But a lot of this seems to be pulling from those ideas, expanding on them, and turning it into a full game, and one that can stand on its own, but is definitely pulling from things that the series has done. And that's sort of my, I wouldn't say issue, but maybe just my background thought. The whole time I'm watching this trailer, I'm looking at it, and I'm going, this is quality, this is good, this is more Splatoon, I like Splatoon. But for the first spin-off in this franchise, which has proven to be so successful, it feels like they did not want to take much risk. They're taking these ideas of like, oh, Salmon Run and the Side Order DLC and the natural third-person shooter gameplay of the Splatoon series, combining it into its own more single-player oriented level-by-level gameplay. Um, and they're like, there you go, that's the Splatoon spin-off. It's more of like a Splatoon roguelike. And that's not necessarily an issue, but I do think that the series has, so much potential to go in so many different directions. There are so many things that the series, I think, would very naturally fit with, but haven't done yet. I mean, I could sit here and list 10 different Splatoon spin-off ideas that I think would be kind of neat, because I'm not a game dev. I can just come up with ideas and I don't have to worry about how to actually develop them. But I think one that I thought about that I think would be really cool is something like a Splatoon Tony Hawk style game or skate style game, where since Splatoon pulls so much from skateboarding culture, having an actual Splatoon skateboarding game where you're doing tricks and maybe you're trying to rise up the ranks of the skateboarding world rather than the turf war world, I think would be kind of cute, kind of fun, a very different gameplay style to the normal third-person shooting of Splatoon. Or, if you want to incorporate that, maybe it's like a skateboarding game with a combat mode and it's like battle skating. That could be kind of fun. There's ideas in the series and things that the series would naturally lend itself to based on its style and its flair that would work really nicely with the given Splatoon world. But with this spin-off, they're not really going for something that we haven't seen before. I may sound like I'm being very negative. I'm 100% picking up Splatoon Raiders day one. I mean, this game sounds very exciting. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. It sounds like you could sink a lot of hours into it. You can even play the game in multiplayer if you choose, which is very funny for them marketing this as the first single-player Splatoon spin-off game. There's obviously a lot of quality being put into this, and it's quality that Splatoon fans are going to love and appreciate and pick out all the little details. But I can't help but notice, as someone who is on the edge of like a pretty big Splatoon fan, but not necessarily hardcore, I can see it from the outside looking in how Splatoon is not very new user friendly. You have to kind of be someone who is into Splatoon already to be excited about a lot of the things that they've done recently, even going as far back as to when Splatoon 3 came out. I remember when Splatoon 3 was announced and revealed, and it was this really exciting thing for Splatoon fans, and there was a lot to pick apart with that game in its reveal trailers and everything, and looking at all the new stuff that they were adding. But if you are someone who isn't as into the Splatoon games, maybe you played a little bit of 2, maybe you played a little bit of 1, you are looking at Splatoon 3 and you're going like, wow, so it's more Splatoon. And Splatoon 2 already is on Switch, so it looks like more Splatoon. You're seeing the same thing with this new Splatoon Raiders game. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like Salmon Run, but a more fleshed out, expanded version of Salmon Run. And if you already know what Salmon Run is, then you are likely already a Splatoon fan. So, you know what I mean? And again, even speaking as a fan of the series, even speaking as someone who does like these games, I do want to see something more unique, The Salmonids are great characters, and there's obviously a lot of like lore that they could delve into and stuff. But lore is the kind of thing that hardcore people are going to enjoy, not casual fans. New characters and new enemy varieties and a very different flavor of game is something that's going to excite people a lot more. A lot of the criticisms I'm having here, I think a lot of Splatoon fans would probably disagree with pretty heavily. They'd be like, no, this looks fantastic, and the gameplay looks so good, and you're not noticing all the little details, all the little secret moves that you can do, that if you just pick apart the gameplay, you'll see where all that development time went into, why this is so different from the typical Salmon Run gameplay, from the typical side order gameplay. But if it is requiring like deep YouTube frame-by-frame analysis, it's not really like a selling point. It's not really something that you can put on the back of the box and new people are going to go like, oh, that is what's new about this game. This game is looking really good. Really, really good. It looks super high quality. The animations look super high quality. It looks like there's going to be a really interesting story going on. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It also looks very derivative and very much like if you are someone who likes Splatoon but doesn't love Splatoon, it's not going to be a must-play for you. And I think that the Splatoon series, with its world, with its characters, with its design, has so much potential to be so much more than what Raiders is kind of showing us. So while I will gladly take and play and love Splatoon Raiders, and it's gonna be a blast, I am also like, I hope the next Splatoon spin-off that they maybe are cooking up right now, or probably they're working on Splatoon 4 or something, but whatever comes next, it has some distinctness to it. It has some elements that people can directly look at and go, that is different than that. But anyways, those are my splots. You get Splatoon on the mind and you start talking like those little inkling freaks. Those are my thoughts on Splatoon Raiders. Let me know what you guys thought about this trailer. But thank you guys once again for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I hope to have more videos out in the coming months. I want to do more casual sit-downs like this. I've been kind of off of YouTube for a while because I've been pretty busy, kind of mainly focusing on my other channel, which I think this is the first time that I'm mentioning this here. I have a second channel where I make animations. It's called Studio Citrus, and it's where I post all of my animation work. I'll have some of it playing here for you guys to see if you're interested. I'll leave a link in the description to that channel. So if you want to see what I'm doing for months at a time when I'm not talking about Nintendo or Blue Hedgehogs or whatever, that's probably what I'm up to. But I do want to get back to this. I think it's fun to talk about this stuff and be more involved in the community, because I feel like I've been feeling distant from this world for a while, and I want to get back into it. I love talking about like the color of Sonic's spines and the size of game key cards or whatever. You know, I love that stuff. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you later when I'm probably talking about some other silly Nintendo nonsense. Peace.